Armies on Parade 2016, a chat about the event, some pictures of the boards, and let's find out how I did. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, Armies on Parade 2016. How did I do? A chat about the event, and I'm also going to have some pictures at the end of the video of all the boards that were there, including the top 3 boards. So yeah, this was the first time I'd ever sort of entered Armies on Parade. I've been eyeing up for a couple of years. This time I finally had enough of my space walls painted, and as you know, I made that board, and I was really happy with my board. I didn't really have too many expectations as such. Ultimately, I knew it really wasn't a painting competition as such. It's more about it's almost a visual competition, but I want to have a chat about the competition itself in a minute. But first of all, how did I do? Well, I came 4th. Apparently I was 1 vote away from getting a medal. However, I don't know if this is normal, but however, the top 4 from the store that I went to, which was the Portsmouth store, had their images sent to head office to potentially be chosen to go onto their websites or magazines or wherever. So the top 4 from my store went up to GW. I got, again, I don't know if this is normal or not for every store, but I got a very nice certificate, which everyone who entered got. Certificate of excellence, apparently. So it didn't matter how your army was that you entered, you got a certificate of excellence. And I also got just a little pin badge as well. So I got something to remember it by, which is nice. So what did I think of the event? So let me just run through it really. So I took my board down the day before. They stored it for me, which is quite nice. And then went in the next day early with my army as well, ready to set up. Now, they'd already set up my board for me because I had it all bagged up, which is quite nice. So they set my board up, put the buildings into place, and I was positioned near the back area, obviously where they'd sort of just taken the board out and just plonked it down. So when I first went in there, and they said, "Who are you?" Just gave them a name, and then they said, "Oh yeah, we got your board out." Because, "Oh, your board looks really cool, really like it," which was a nice start. And they said, "You can pick anywhere you like." I was pretty much one of the first ones in there, maybe one other person. So I didn't think about it. I just went where they'd put my board because it was convenient. I think later I realised that probably was a mistake. I should have moved my board to the front of the shop, because what I did notice, now I didn't stay there all day because I was working that day, but what I did notice when I was there, because I popped in a couple of times at lunchtime, end of the day, yeah, what I noticed was that some people were coming in, looking at the few front boards, and then voting without actually looking around. Now that could be because it was people's friends going in to vote, I don't know. But anyway, I think that was a disadvantage. I think I should have put my board at the front of the shop. I think I might have had a better chance of being seen. So anyway, I set my board up. I was really happy with it. It looked really nice. I had a few nice comments from other people that started to come in, setting their boards up. I was right next to a Necron army, and there next to there was a big orc Forge World massive stomper thing. I've no idea what it is. So I left it there, went back to work, came back in at lunchtime, took the photographs, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Shop was pretty busy. I counted about 15 boards in total, so quite a good turnout, I would say. Pretty much most of the boards looked pretty cool. So yeah, that was the day basically. Now, like I said, I was 1 vote away from getting a medal as such. And when I went back the next day to collect my board, I said, "Oh, I should have voted for myself," to the guy. And he goes, "Yeah, you should have done." So, really? Can you vote for yourself? And usually if it's a competition, you just put your stuff there and then you leave it there, don't you? I don't know, maybe I made a big mistake there, but apparently I could have voted for myself, and that one vote would have put me into the medals. And the thing is about Armies on Parade, which I've obviously really sort of has been thrown to light really by my experience, is that as it's a general public vote, it means anyone can go in and vote for you. So if I was in a position, sadly the Games Workshop store is not near me, where my home as such, it's only near my work. But if it was near my home, I could have got loads of my family members to have gone in and voted for me, which probably would have put me up in certainly in the top 3. So then it makes you think, well, really, is this actually not a fair competition, but this is just a popularity vote, like who can get the most people to go in and vote for them? I think, like I said, I know it's not a painting competition as such, but I think ultimately I would prefer the Armies on Parade to be judged by probably the store members rather than the public. It just doesn't seem to be quite fair, the voting system. But I'm not knocking the event. I did enjoy it. It was great to see my army in the top 4. It must have meant that I got a good amount of votes, and the voting system in the shop that I was anyway was you had to vote for your top 3. So I assume that if first place got X amount of votes, second place got slightly less, third place got slightly less. So to get 4th, I must have been on most people's voting sheet somewhere along those, in at least 3rd place. So overall, I was pretty happy with that. What I did notice that the top 3 boards were all pretty colourful, and I think that's what my board lacked. I think my board lacked colour, because obviously it's that grey army on the sort of battle damaged field, which is all pretty dull, and that, for example, the 3rd place was the Necron army that was next to me, and that was a colourful, bright Necron army. And I think having a bright, colourful army sort of almost attracts your eye, especially if you have a member of the public coming in, which doesn't necessarily know anything about painting or even the hobby. They may just happen to have walked in. They're going to look around and vote for the most striking boards. So it was all very, very interesting. I certainly learnt a lot. And I am going to enter next year. I'm going to enter my Eldar. My Eldar, probably my most bright and colourful army, with the purple and white, and then you've got fire dragons and swooping hawks and stuff. So I'm going to really make my army, my display board, pop. It's not my best painted army. Pretty decent, but it's certainly not as good as the Wolves. But I think it will definitely have that pop factor. And if I can produce a nice board that pops as well, then I think I might have a better chance. And maybe I could throw in a few family members to a trip to my store to vote for me as well. Anyway, I did enjoy it. It was nice. I've got a little token to say that I entered, which was nice. I'd love to have got a medal, but there you go. Okay, so a bit of a ramble, sorry about that, but here we go. I'm now going to show you images, the top 3, my board, and the rest of the boards that were there. Enjoy.